Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Hello, everyone.
Hello!
We're on an episode of Hypecast!
Hypecast.
It is the show where we get hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm your other co-host, David Bell.
And I'm guest Starline Hodge.
You do that so well. You're the only person who's mastered that, I think.
You're a pro.
I always feel like slightly self-conscious because when I listen to their episodes, I'm like, no one introduces themselves, but I feel wrong for not doing it, so...
Right.
No, it's what we expect. We throw our guests to the wolves. We never coach them beforehand.
Right.
So we just...
But you know the wolves. You're an old hand at the wolves, so...
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm great. Everything's pretty good. Minus that heat wave that just went away, but that's gone, so... It's all
It's
great
gone.
now.
Never to return.
Come back
yeah.
again.
Never again. It'll never get 100 degrees in Los Angeles ever again.
It will never again darken our doorstep.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Movies. Did you guys see... sorry, this just happened. Twitter is starting to push Keke Palmer playing Rogue in X-Men.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we just rewatched Nope last night. Yes.
I just
Perfect
rewatched Nope as
casting.
well.
Yeah.
She's so fucking good.
I'm just sitting with that thought. I was just like, yes, everything
It clicks,
about it.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I want it now.
I know. They're not even making an X-Men, as far as I know, though,
I
right?
mean, I'm sure those wheels are turning, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They better be.
I still just want X-Men to be not in the main MCU ever because I feel like they would dilute each other. Like,
Yeah, it's too
right,
much.
they have to introduce the idea of mutants somehow.
They already can't or won't get the Spider-Man universe to be in the same. So it's like already like so convoluted. So yeah, just make X-Men their own thing. Who cares?
yeah, just make them their own thing. You have multiverse there, so like they could pop in every once in a while to have like a combo, but just don't put them in the main MCU because like it's just the metaphor of what the X-Men are doesn't work when you have super soldiers and like every other character that has powers hanging around and they're fine, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's freaking out about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard agree. Just give us X-Men. Don't try to think about it. Like that. Yeah, that's the point of the alternate dimensions, so we don't have to.
Exactly.
And then also, I saw a push for God, I don't know his name. The actor who played Gus from Breaking Bad to play Professor X.
Giancarlo
and that's
Esposito.
another one.
Oh.
Yeah, that's another one where it's like, oh shit.
He would honestly, he would be awesome as either Charles or Magneto.
Yes.
Oh my God, he'd be better as
I think
Magneto.
he'd be
Fucking
better as
sweet as
Magneto.
Magneto. Yeah, and I know I'm saying that just because he usually plays bad guys, but he's so good at it.
Yeah,
So-
that's the thing. Is it's just
You need to have the ability to be scary but charming at the same time. And
yeah, totally in control. That's like what he always exudes.
of metal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw him in there. He's already getting Star Wars money, so like I'm sure he's just like, oh yeah, Marvel, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, he's great in the Star Wars. I forgot he's in the Star
yeah,
Wars.
so did
Star Wars.
I. Until
Yeah.
he said something.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. Dave, we should probably start the show. You want to name some producers?
All right. Oh, shit. I just realized. Sorry, Driftless. I think you wanted your name changed, but we'll do it next week because I forgot. Big thanks to Driftless, Prince of Darkness.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan. Thank you to Hombre. Thank you. Thank you to Heathcliff's Helping Handfuls.
Thank you.
Thank you to the conveniently placed self-destruct button on the top of every baby's head.
Thank you.
Thank you to Samuel Beckett's Donuts and Mortgage Emporium.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Snapper Car Punches God in the Dick.
Sure does.
Thank you to @NerdNumbers.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mike the Lurker.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Dracula the Bus Driving Vampire.
Toot toot.
Thank you to Brockway Loves the Meat Millie.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to David
Knife Boot
Henson. Thank you.
All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to Grumblebee.
Thank
you
you.
to Screaming Horse Pyramid.
Thank you.
Thank you to Look Mom on a podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you to Zexmer Keys, the Lighting Baron.
you.
I'm sorry.
And you want to say lightning because
I did, yeah. I wanted to call him the Lightning Thief, but that's not right. That's a Percy Jackson movie. Spoilers. Thank you to Deborah's Awesome, Barbara's Great, and Cancer Can Go to Hell.
Thank you.
Thank you to Numino, Ultra Microscopic Silico Volcano Coniosis, Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Jones.
Thank you.
Fuck. Thank you to the baby from Eraserhead.
Thank you.
Thank you to Chiz Lily Tits.
Thank you.
Thank you to these 7 Bs.
Yep.
And thank you to Breezy Ruizy.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, so we got a whole just shotgun blast, just drenched head to toe with Disney trailers.
Yeah, we got
last
nonsense trailer. I actually cut out the one dramatic trailer I had on this list because I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, it's why bother?
Yeah. So we're starting with Secret Invasion.
This is okay. I have fallen way behind on the Marvel shows. I haven't watched one since
Same.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. But this looks pretty good in like a...
Wait, is this a show?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was a movie.
I think this is a show.
No, it's a show.
Mm-hmm.
I'd almost rather it be a movie, but I will accept it either way because this is some cool spy shit.
Yeah, I like this
and I
like
love,
60s spy movie
love
shit. Yes,
the cast.
hell yeah.
I'm actually more excited now knowing that this is a show and not a movie. I thought it was a movie, and I was going to be like, how the heck is the average like Marvel person going to understand this movie? But it still looked rad.
Marvel is it really is this situation where I'm literally having my one foot out the door and they grab me with something like this, and I'm like,
it's the Godfather
okay.
3 meme. They keep pulling me back in.
Yeah, it slowly wanes, and then something like this, and then the new Daredevil show. I'm absolutely going to watch that. And this is for people who don't know. It's them little green.
It's the Skrull Invasion. Yeah, if you're familiar with the comics, they did Secret Invasion was a big annual storyline a couple of years back.
Right.
So
we
Sam
got
Jackson's
Bendelson.
back as Nick Fury. Yeah, Bendelson's back. Was that Olivia Colman?
Was it?
Was it? Now I have to look that up.
Was Daenerys?
I hope
Oh,
so.
you're right.
Was
No, that was Olivia Colman. You're right. I saw her too. Wait, what was that star?
Was Daenerys in this? The lady who plays Daenerys?
That
maybe.
looked like Daenerys too.
Okay, I was just like, I don't know actor names.
I don't-
always
Connor
just know
herself.
their-
I don't see her name in the credits.
Daenerys?
No, I don't see Daenerys. It is Olivia Colman though.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Olivia Colman. Yes, that really sweetened the deal.
Yeah.
It's just fucking.
Oh wait, yes, Emilia Clarke is in it. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna say,
And-
but otherwise that lady has the same face.
And fucking Chris McDonald, Shooter McGavin is in this.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
And then like just see Don Cheadle. Like Don Cheadle is a good actor, and like we don't see him that much. It feels like, and so it's just nice. I don't know, seeing him doing like serious stuff. Like I just like how serious they're taking it, at least in this trailer. You know?
Well, I mean, Don Cheadle was just in that Soderbergh movie a year or two ago that was on HBO Max.
Shit, I need to see that.
Yeah.
I remember it. Yeah. The point is that it's nice to see like I really like it when Marvel gets serious and adult.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're surprisingly good at it, considering that they're for kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think so anymore. I think they know, at least with their TV shows, they could get away with, like, the grown-ups and the adult nerds are going to be watching this.
Oh, for
you
sure.
know? Like,
Yeah, I guess what I mean is that they know they know that a lot of their stuff is for kids to watch, but like it's fun when they do something like this where they're just like kids would have no interest in this for the most part. I think like they're very like it's Marvel does that thing where they try to make stuff for everyone. This feels not like that. This feels like them doing, and you're right, it's more in the TV shows for sure, where they're like, yeah, we can actually get away with just like pitching something to a specific group of people. And this looks, I don't know, this looks rad.
Yeah,
did you guys, I'm trying to think of like what else that they showed recently. Like She-Hulk is fun. It's silly.
I still have to watch it.
I mean, it's go in with like, I'm going to watch like a dumb, silly thing.
It's everything. I was really excited about it. And then I guess I'm still kind of into it, but it seems like it's a lot of them doing jokes about their own universe. You know, like it's a bunch of like, oh, what's the deal with this and that? And like I saw, like, I don't know.
It is, but that's what like the She-Hulk comics are. So it's just like, oh, like they're doing what the comic did, so it works for what it is, kind of thing.
Okay.
But I mean, like, if you go into it going like, oh, this isn't going to be serious at all, and like it doesn't really matter, it's like a fun show.
That does sound fun. It sounds like the closest to the Marvel's version of Harley Quinn.
Yes, with less like problematic, insane, like, you know, like mental health issues. It's more like,
right.
It's more like it's literally a lawyer show. It's just like, we're gonna deal with a court case today. Like, how do you deal with like the main storyline in the first ones is like the guy who played Abomination, who's just like.
Tim Roth.
Yeah.
And he like makes it a point. He's just like, the government, like the U.S. I'm not even an American citizen. The U.S. government injected me with drugs, made me a soldier, and then punished me for doing what they wanted me to do. And it's just like, oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, when you say it like that, it sounds pretty fucked up.
I'm also super down for anything that's just courtroom drama.
Courtroom drama I'm into.
Yeah.
Speaking of Marvel stuff, the next trailer is for the upcoming Disney Plus special Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, this is just the Werewolf, the game Werewolf.
Yeah, I mean, this is an actual like comic, and it's got characters from the series, but I fucking loved this trailer.
Yeah, so
yes.
like I said, I went into it being like, I don't know about this. And then the trailer just blew me away.
This trailer is so good. I hope the actual special is like this.
Yeah. Yes. God, I hope they're not misrepresenting
like
it.
Black and white with like the kind of gonzo zooms and camera angles and stuff. I'm really into this.
I think it will be. I think it's just like, here's a Halloween special. We're gonna like lean in and like do some weird shit.
Yeah, and it looks gory.
It
like
might
it
be.
looks pretty fucking gnarly. Like it's I don't know, man. I'm into it. Who's making this? I'm trying to look him up. But
Michael Giacchino.
Okay, what has he done?
Well, he's primarily known for scores. Like he did the score for The Incredibles. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He hasn't done much as a director. It looks like
he's. If you ever go to Magic Mountain at Disneyland, he's the music guy behind that, and it's one of the best like theme ride songs.
Oh, all right. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, this just I'm
really into this.
It just looks good.
Yeah.
This looks so.
It appeals to me because it clearly takes place in the past. Like it's not really connected to anything else. So I don't feel like I need to like. Okay, I got to remember what's happening with this person and this person and this person. It just seems like it's its own thing, and it just looks really fun. Yeah,
it's the sort of thing that's when you have the power of Marvel and the power of Disney.
It's what I wish they would do with Star Wars.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's what I wish they would do. Period. More often, which is like remember when like Disney owned Miramax and was like making indie films. It sort of feels like if you're gonna have a monopoly, it's almost your responsibility to like do weird stuff too. You know, like they can afford to do weird stuff.
Right.
They should be funding every indie film in the world.
They should be required to.
Yes, they should be required to by law to like fund a certain amount of indie weird stuff to just keep it alive. And so like this is what that feels like to me is like something weird with like a Marvel budget is. I'm
I
just
excited
hope
for it.
lives up to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like what Marvel has been pretty good about. Even though, like I said, I haven't really been watching their shows. They have done neat stuff like What If, like we just talked about She-Hulk,
Right.
about how She-Hulk's kind of like a sitcom.
The thing that made me cynical is WandaVision, which was so different and neat, and then it ended with just a superhero fight in the sky.
Yeah, sure.
And it was like She-Hulk, all those, I'm like, is it just going to end? Because I've noticed people saying like
Probably.
She-Hulk doesn't have a villain, and that sounds great. But if at the last minute they suddenly do
there are some serious. I haven't watched it, but I know that there's some serious She-Hulk villains in it, like Titania and like the Wrecking Crew. I think just showed up, so she will probably end up in a fist fight with one of those two entities by the end.
The first episode, she does fight Titania for like half a second. Like it's very much like, oh shit, we need to like hold off on our CGI budget right now.
Yeah.
But they do like tease it. And then, like, later on, like, there's lawsuits. So it's just like, oh, is Titania just going to be, like, a legal villain? Like, what?
That would be great.
That would be
like,
fun, yeah.
I want Marvel to follow through narratively on the aesthetic and, like, tonal weirdness that they, do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what it is that they always set it up to be really different and weird, but then it always narratively just ends up being a superhero movie or show. And so, like, Werewolf by Night feels like it has the potential to just be,
be weird
narratively as well. Yeah.
I wonder if because the Doctor Strange Madness movie, I think it did pretty well, right? Like considering
as
it's
far as I know,
weird.
yeah.
It was, but again, narratively, it was extremely like middle of the road.
Yeah.
I would say it was super normal narratively.
Yeah, and that's because it's like the movies, they're very much like we don't fuck with our movies that much, but the fact that they like still experimented enough to be like, okay, we could get a little weird with this, and then like it seems like the TV shows more and more they're just like, let's get a little crazy.
they got nothing to lose there. It's just like, well, we'll just dump it on Disney Plus, and we it's like a pass fail metric on Disney Plus. It's either we gain a bunch of subscribers or not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Next thing. Should we talk? We're still deep in Disney. With this next one.
I mean, D23 just happened, so
yeah. No, it all checks
deep
out.
in Disney.
Yeah. This is the Little Mermaid, a live action. I didn't realize this was Rob Marshall, who did he did Into the Woods, he did Chicago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like that actually, I generally I don't think has been a single live action Disney remake that I've really loved.
Same.
But he's at least a very good director who would do this style specifically really well, I think.
Well, I think I've got to look this up now. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was Bill Condon. For a second there, I thought he had done the Beauty and the Beast remake, but he didn't.
No, he did Mary Poppins Returns, which I've actually heard good things about, but I never saw.
Yeah, I didn't see that one either.
Yeah, Chicago alone though, like that's that's a really good job of doing
movie,
heightened reality. Yeah, exactly.
And a good adaptation of it.
He also did Memoirs of a Geisha. Yeah. So that's all to say this has the potential to be very good looking. That said, Jon Favreau did The Lion King.
Yes.
So, Disney has the ability to also crush the most creative minds.
And so it's like twofold. One, I think The Little Mermaid is one of the best Disney movies.
Yes.
If not the best. But two, on the flip side, this is only a brief trailer, but we do see photorealistic sea life, so I'm just fucking bracing myself for photorealistic Sebastian.
Oh, it's so gonna be a photorealistic Sebastian. It's gonna be a little Jamaican crab who looks like a real crab.
That's horrifying.
Crab face.
I didn't think about that, but that's horrifying.
It's gonna have you know how like crab mouths are? Like they're just like little scoops. Like they have little scoop mounts. It's just going to be that, and it's going to be horrible.
They are some of them.
God.
They are among the most horrible animals on the planet.
What is wrong with Disney? That is absolutely what's going to happen. Fuck.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to hear him sing Under the Sea with a fucking photorealistic crab.
Sing, I can't wait for him scuttling out of the ocean to tell him to kiss the girl. Like that's going to be the most terrifying
Whispering in Prince Eric's ear. Fucking crab.
Oh shit.
No. Oh man, the
Smells
seagull?
like ass.
The seagull.
Oh, Scuttle, yeah.
Holy shit.
You briefly see Flounder in the trailer, and he just looks like a photorealistic
He
fish.
just looks like a fish.
Oh no.
It's
I
going to
don't
be
like that.
fucking funny, yeah.
I didn't realize it's Melissa McCarthy as Ursula.
Yes.
Really?
The thing that I guess shocked me is Javier Bardem as King Triton, which I'm not into that, but he's going to be so fucking
He's
intense.
going to be intense. Like, I mean, Triton is already terrifying.
Yeah.
Like,
He is.
he scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Yeah, you don't want to
me
fuck with him.
too.
He's
When he
perfect.
fucks up Ariel's room,
It's devastating.
it's dark.
As a kid, I didn't like the movie specifically because of that scene. I was just like, he destroyed all her shit, and
Yeah.
it made me like it was too stressful. And then as
She
an
was a
adult, I'm
hoarder.
like, oh, this is amazing. This is a great movie.
You're right. She was a hoarder. He had to rip that
She's a
Band-Aid
hoarder,
off.
yeah. Yeah, she had a problem.
I mean, but she had it organized though.
That's true.
You
That's
know?
true.
Like she had shelves.
She did. Oh, man.
Man, this movie might be some nightmare fuel now that we lay it all out. Like like fucking Javier Bardem being terrifying, and then talking crabs.
What we've learned, what we should have learned with like the dual lessons of The Lion King and Cats, is that photorealism is not. It's the musicals are heightened reality already, and when you have like singing and dancing animals, photorealism is not the answer. Like that's not the look, that's not the style. It shouldn't be.
No one wants to see it. The problem is that The Lion King made all the money in the world.
Of course it did. Yeah,
and it's because I would say a combination of nostalgia and morbid curiosity.
Yes,
of like people being like, I gotta see these fucking lions, and then it's got that real like Jurassic World feel where it's like everybody saw it and then everybody walked away from it and was like, that was bad. But like Disney, they're just looking at their numbers they're like,
they're just looking at how much money it made. Yeah, ironic dollars spend the same, it turns out.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't watch Lion King because I was just the little bits that I saw. I was just like, no, this was one of my favorite childhood movies. I'm good. But I did listen to the soundtrack a lot because I was like, they redid the music and it was Beyonce singing, and I'm like, the music's fantastic. So,
They cut the best fucking song though.
This is probably an offensive thought to voice actors. But like, just redub the originals. Like, I would accept that if they're like, we're re-releasing The Little Mermaid and we're just having like new voices and stuff. It's just like, because you're right, that is the most compelling part of any of these, which is like the songs, and like a lot of the performances are good, but like I'm sure like the human characters in this one will be very fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm here.
Or the human fish characters.
I'm here for the
mermaids.
music. I'll watch it because I want to hear the songs redone. And even then, like, I'm not seeing this on opening weekend. I'm going to wait until I hear what Black Twitter has to say about it and be like,
right.
Because they'll be honest, because they were honest about Lion King. They were like, the soundtrack's great. The movie's not so much. Listen to the soundtrack. So I'm probably going to do the same with this one.
I think what it is that's so disturbing is that when you go back and look at the animation of like the Lion King, it's so like someone recently did that comparison of Simba seeing the wildebeest, the stampede,
right,
and the two shots, and that's what it is like it's such a disservice to be like, oh, this really dynamically animated sequence, okay, we're gonna reshoot it with like photorealism
and, like,
and nothing interesting,
like
and that's the key, is like nothing interesting,
like the gorgeous colors and like all the the paint in the Lion King originally, and then it's just like this stupid ass looking photorealistic. I don't know. It's such the wrong artistic instinct.
No.
Right.
Like,
There are I would say Aladdin had the right instinct, even though that's still like very forgettable. They're all forgettable, but
Yeah.
like Aladdin was like, oh, we're gonna go all out. Like the Never Had a Friend Like Me scene, they go all out.
That was
They
pretty
make
sweet,
it this
yeah.
like
They
trippy.
leaned into the
Yeah.
campiness of it.
Exactly, and that's kind of what all of these have to do. Like the fucking I Can't Wait to Be King sequence in the remake was one of the most like visually offensive things I've seen.
It was so boring.
It was so boring. It's just a lion like running around a field.
Yeah.
And it was
then
like, what are we
fucking
doing? Do you
bird
remember the original?
flying around? Yeah. Do you remember how exciting? Like, do you remember how every frame of this movie popped?
Yeah.
I remember I watched like just recently it was like a video on how Spider-Verse is changing the way 3D animated movies are being done. Like there's a new like DreamWorks is experimenting with more like, hi, we don't have to make our 3D animation look like Pixar anymore. We could actually do anything we want, including making it look like stylized 2D-esque things. And I think Disney, because Disney has their Pixar style, that's like their thing and it's set, and they don't really experiment with that. They're like, how do we make this even more real? Like they're leaning on the other end. They're going more real, while every other studio's just like, well, we're not going to do that. Let's play and like do some weird shit. And I'm hoping Disney will like turn it around and be like, hey, look at all these other movies making money, like by being really interesting stylistically. Like you don't have to make it real. No one wants real.
Nobody wants real.
It's,
exactly.
It's absolutely wild that it takes so long for corporations to figure this out. Because I would argue this happened with 2D animation too. It's like everything looked like the Disney Renaissance, right? At a certain point. And it's these corporate people being like, no, do what's safe. And it's like, what's actually the interesting thing to do is you can literally make anything look like anything.
Yeah.
In both 2D animation or CGI. Why aren't you taking advantage of that? That's wild.
Safe is rarely interesting.
Yeah.
Right. And it gets boring. And you're just like, okay. Like.
So I just hope Rob Marshall has some. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of his films. I'm just going by Chicago. But like Mary Poppins Returns, I know had a very interesting look. I'm just hoping to give him the freedom to do something cool with this.
Yeah.
I hope so, yeah. This is like among their best films, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Let's talk about Willow.
I'm so excited for Willow, guys. I have loved Willow so much since I was a kid. I'm so excited. That fucking theme song comes up in this trailer. I was like, yes!
Yeah.
Like an old, tiny Kevin Pollak. Yes!
So the first trailer I wasn't that excited about. This one got
This
me
one looks
pumped.
awesome!
It really does. It really, really does. I wasn't excited about a new Willow, mostly because I was just like, we already have Willow, and I didn't realize that new Willow, I thought it was a remake. So I didn't know that it was going to be a sequel. And then once I realized, like, this is a sequel? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's awesome. You got like Joanne Wally's the queen now, and Willow's like the old wise wizard now. It's fucking awesome.
So good.
Oh, it's so good.
I've been watching. Have you guys been watching Rings of Power?
Yes.
No, not yet. Not yet. I haven't started it. I'm excited but I haven't started it.
Yeah, it's extremely my jam. And like, I'm not watching the new Game of Thrones, which there's nothing wrong with it.
I am. It's very stupid, but it's fun. Like it's fun. It's fun to watch with nothing. Like I don't care what happens. I have nothing invested in it this time, so I'm just like whatever.
Right. For me, it's just I'm done cynically watching things. You know what I mean?
That's
like
fair. Yeah.
Or like I'm done with gritty fantasy, and so Rings of Power is just such a palate cleanser, which is just like. We're all happy and we're in the woods and everything is there's still like stakes, there's still like blood, there's still some evil, but it's just classic adventure.
It's very classic. Like I wasn't watching the new Game of Thrones mostly because like I was such a big Game of Thrones fan. I know what happens in this series already. I know what happens, and the Targaryens are just not interesting to me. Like I don't like them, and they all fuck each other, and it's weird, and it's like icky. So I was like, I'm good on that show, and I'm done with the soap opera of it all.
I see.
Like,
I'm watching it as a soap opera, but we don't need to talk about. We can talk about Willow.
Well, no, this was all to go to
Right,
Willow,
right,
which
right.
is that Willow feels like the Rings of Power, which is just like, we're having an adventure.
Yeah, it's like classic fantasy
D&D.
adventure. Yeah.
Yeah, and I fucking pour it on. Let's get more. I want more.
Yeah,
Like-
I'm sort of like I kind of approach Marvel a little bit in the same way, just because we're doing so much of the superhero deconstruction right now. Like, and I think The Boys is good. I like The Boys, but like we're doing a lot of like that seems to be the norm now, and it's like we can't always do the deconstruction. Sometimes you just need to do what the classic thing is, and I like that. Willow's classic fantasy, and for everything I've heard about Rings of Power, it's the same. So I'm like excited for that, because sometimes you just want to watch good guys be good guys, right?
Right.
Exactly. It's really funny how like our culture goes in these circles where it's like it would be subversive just to do a superhero movie these days, where it's with no observations, just good guy.
It's
bad
actually
guy.
one of the things I like a lot about Invincible. The animated show it starts out seeming like it's going to be another superhero deconstruction, and it is for like the first episode, but then it becomes a classic superhero story.
Does it? Okay, I
Interesting.
watched the first episode and I was just like, oh, my heart can't deal with this
It's
right now.
the whole show's not like that. Like that's like
Right.
setting the stage for it, and then it's like sort of secretly or sneakily becomes like a very traditional superhero story.
Okay,
Right.
I might have to go back into that one.
Yeah, give it a
I
shot.
also think the deconstructions kind of end up falling into the tropes anyway.
Yeah.
Like I also like
have
The
their own
Boys, but the new
tropes, yeah.
season just felt like they had to like nerf powerful characters and like keep them away from situations, much like the Avengers has to deal with. Like it's starting to just have to do the things superhero movies do, which is very funny to me.
It makes no sense why Homelander hasn't killed Butcher yet. Like it makes no
Yeah,
sense.
exactly. It's things like that. Where it's again, it kind of reminds me of when they made Team America and they're trying to ape Michael Bay, and then they were like, "This is actually really hard to do." It's like the same thing. It's like deconstructing superheroes. You still have to like kind of make superhero stuff.
Yeah.
That's all to say that Willow looks fucking great.
It really does. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I feel like the next decade, like this type of fantasy is going to kind of just be the trend.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm really hoping that this and Lord of the Rings or Rings of Power will start like
I will
exploding, and we'll get back into like that nostalgia.
I will say it's not quite the same level of saturation as superhero. Like I feel like the classic fantasy story is still pretty much the standard. It's just we had 10 years of Game of Thrones being the biggest thing in the world.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm more thinking like, remember how like Comic-Con used to be a fringe thing, and now it's like an industry. I want that for Ren fairs.
Yes.
I want like in 10 years, Ren fairs to be like they're just showing the newest trailers.
Yeah,
and,
San
like,
Diego
Disney's.
Ren Fair 2038.
Like fuck it. I want a new era of just these Ren fair nerds just having their day
Hell
in
yeah.
the sun.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So let's move on.
All right. This is oh yeah, here we go. Main
Yeah.
event. The Santa Clauses.
It's
This is,
our last Disney Plus series trailer, yeah.
How many Santa Claus movies are there? These are like the Air Buds, right?
Three,
There's like
like,
a rich
3 or 4
mythology.
of them.
I believe there's 3.
Really?
Yeah,
Only 3?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you, I watched the first one once, and I haven't seen a single one of these. And if they're making
Aw.
someone in the world happy, then good for them.
I really I love the Santa Claus.
Really?
I've only seen the second one once, and I've not seen the third one, but I really like the original.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Yeah,
it's a
I've
fun movie.
only watched the first 2, and they weren't like my jam. I was like, I was the kid that thought too hard about the logic of these movies too much, so it was just very much like none of this. Wait, you're just leaving your life. What do you do? Like, how do you?
Right.
like,
Right, he
all of
throws his entire life away, to become Santa.
Like,
And then, of course, like, it's that the age old, why does none of the adults believe in Santa Claus? Where do they think the gifts are coming
he
from?
also killed
Right.
the first
Etc.
Santa Claus. Like, that's like in it. Like, he just killed the old Santa and nobody cared. Like, I always think of stuff like that. Where it's just
Santa
like,
fell. He didn't kill Santa.
Yeah, but I do love the idea that the first pitch meeting was someone coming in just snowblind, being like, what if you killed Santa, you get to be him?
Oh, that someone was probably Tim Allen.
You're right. I want to see a version of this where he starts getting hunted down, because the premise of this is he's retiring and he's trying out new Santas. Mm-hmm. Doesn't any of them know that if they just strangle him, guess what?
You become Santa.
They are Santa.
Right, because the whole trailer is him interviewing Peyton Manning, and it's like, Peyton Manning, you're like a professional athlete. If you simply beat Santa to death right now, you are now Santa.
Okay, I have another thought. What if he's interviewing them to kill him? What if that's the process? Like, he goes out into the town square and gets beheaded by the next Santa.
I hope so.
And that's the process.
It's just like an ancient Santa ritual where it's just like, this is how it normally is done.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you get to be Santa, you get to live for an extended period of time and be magical, but when your time has come, you will be taken out by the next Santa.
What happens to his wife? It's just like, it's I don't know.
I'm not sure if she's in this one. I saw somebody who may have been her, but it was just a bit from
I like to imagine this takes place 200 years later, and everybody he's loved has died, and he's just lived for too long, and he's just like, the sweet siren call of death.
Yeah, it's luring me into the great beyond.
It's luring me in,
to shuffle off this mortal Kris Kringle coil.
Yeah.
The only other thing I wanted to call out is, I mean, this it's real brief, but the brief bit we see is perfectly in tone with the other movies, so it's probably going to be like that sort of humor. But Tim Allen's fat suit looks real bad.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they don't have as much money.
It looks like he has a fake muscle suit on. Like his shoulders and chest are like weirdly lumpy. It's like, guys, that doesn't look right.
And it looked really good in the original. I remember that.
Yeah. It was good makeup in the original movie.
I mean, maybe they just didn't do the CGI pass on it because it's a trailer.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
But it didn't look good.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's the Santa Clauses. I'm not going to watch it. I like I said, I have nothing invested in. I feel.
Man, I watch.
No, I don't
watch
feel
the Santa Claus every year.
Aww.
I have to point out,
well,
I watch
is for
it.
You, Tom.
I watch it by myself.
Nice.
Nobody else.
No one
else
wants to watch
Claus.
it. That's like my sister insists on watching Elf every year, and we're always like, Elf's not a bad movie.
Elf is
but
fine.
It's not. Yeah, it's fine. And so she's like, let's do Elf. And everybody's like, yeah, I mean, sure.
Elf is, you can put Elf on. I'm going to play games on my Switch.
I'm going to do other things.
Yeah.
I'm going to play The Witcher on my Switch. Let's move on.
Next trailer. Okay, so, Jesus Christ. The School for Good and Evil.
Yeah.
The comments are people who are like, I love this book, and I'm like, I haven't heard of this book.
I just learned this book existed 2 months ago. Marina and I saw these books in Barnes & Noble. We're like, oh, this seems like a Harry Potter ripoff. And then looking at this trailer, it's like, yep.
Yeah, and it's wild that it has a fan. It's just this. So
Dave,
it literally looks like Hogwarts. Like the shots. If someone showed me shots from the castle and stuff, I just assume it's a new Harry Potter.
Exactly.
What I've learned is that any TV show that has more than one season and every book series that has more than one book has a fan base.
That's true.
It's
and
just
a very
wild to me dedicated
because
fan base.
This is clearly, and I mean, it can't not be. Even I don't know anything about the books. All I know is from the look of this, it seems like a very clear, cynical money grab.
Right, it's
where
so
someone was like, I'm going to do Harry Potter, and I'm going to get Harry Potter rich.
Like, the premise is kids go to this school to be taught how to be the heroes and the heroes or villains of fairy tales, and then they leave the school and go out and live their fairy tales. And that's
and that shit, that doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't. I like the way, Star, you just talked about how, the Santa Claus broke your brain. This is war on my brain. I don't just how does this approach making sense?
The school's premise of you come here and you're going to be evil and everyone's okay with that. It just seems wild. I do want to like look. I want to like read the first couple chapters of the book just because I'm like, maybe there's more to it, you know?
And how do they know that like the evil students they train are going to go off and like do a fairy tale storyline and not like 9/11?
Right.
Well,
maybe that could be part of it.
It's like we train fucking terrorists here, magical terrorists at the school for good and evil.
It's a premise that someone came up in 10 minutes. Like came up with.
It's
like that's
so
the problem
cynical,
is that it's not just horribly derivative because the whole thing through and through looks like Harry Potter meets like fucking Cinderella or any of the Disney live
movies,
actions.
yeah.
They used royalty-free stories. They're like, how do I do Harry Potter
public
but like
domain,
for free?
Yeah.
It's
and
like,
then the idea is so stupid where it's like, it's like a school that trains
that
like
doesn't
fairy
make
tale.
any sense.
It's like what it's like try
for what
think
purpose?
about it. Yeah, think about it for just a little longer. Like come up with a slightly better idea. It's so cynical and lazy. And at the same time, there's a part of me that's just like, also maybe we should step away from the Harry Potter universe because it's giving like a terrible person a lot of money.
Give that universe any more oxygen.
Yeah.
If you buy that video game, shame on you.
Right. So like there's a part of me that's like, this is a derivative piece of crap. And I'm rooting for it, I guess.
Yeah, this is also why I kind of want to read the like. I am missing that aspect of like fandom in my life because that was such a big part of like my like early 20s is like the Potter worlds and all that.
Right.
And now like even though I remember those things fondly, it's just like I can't have fun with it now. It feels icky.
I know.
So
it's really. The Harry Potter world could have been the next Star Wars. Like that's the thing about it. It has that Star Wars potential where it's like, this is a huge world that you could make 1 million films in. Except the George Lucas of it all is just horrible.
Right.
Yeah. She just wrote
horrible person.
What, like a 1,200-page book
about how the internet was mean to her for being a TERF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
being
it
a
must be.
transphobe.
There's got to be some Warner Brothers executives that are just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh yeah.
We had a money machine, and it feels like Harry Potter is
I'm not about
poison.
to feel bad for Warner Brothers, though.
No, I don't feel bad for them. It's just what an incredible thing to happen.
You fucks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just what an incredibly horrible thing to happen.
All this is teaching Warner Brothers is that like, okay, when we have contracts, we need to put in a clause of like, if you somehow like become a scourge of society, you lose your rights to your thing, and we own it. You know, that's all that this is teaching Warner Brothers. Like, how do we make sure
Which is
we don't lose money?
It's a terrible lesson. Terrible lesson to learn.
That clause probably exists. Honestly, with how much money is tied up in these movies, like there probably is a clause where they're like, "Listen,
it's probably
if you
called
start
the
if you
J.K. Rowling clause now.
If you start J.K. Rowling all over Twitter, we're gonna cut your royalties off from these movies."
Or maybe it's like Santa Claus, where someone can take her place if she falls off a roof or something.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. That's all to say that I'm not actually like unless this is actually secretly good. But if it's as cynical as it looks, it's like no. I don't want this.
I do like that Lawrence Fishburne appears to be their Dumbledore,
right?
Which is great.
Yes, they paid. That's the other thing. They clearly paid a lot of money for this.
This looks expensive.
Yeah,
and this is a Netflix movie.
Yeah, so like they're really betting big on what appears to be a real piece of shit. Directed by Paul Feig.
Sure. Whatever.
One of the comments on the YouTube page says like they gave like a quick summary of like the premise, and they're like, there's a town where every 4 years on the 11th day of the 11th month, 2 children always get kidnapped and they get sent to the school. I was just like, what?
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah, the fans, there's all these fans in the comments who are like, I can't wait for this. And it's like, who are you people? What is this? I'm going to read off the cast of this.
Why would you still live in the town? If this happens every 4 years, why would you not move?
Yeah, why not? They'd burn this castle to the ground. This movie has Cate Blanchett as the narrator. You see Charlize Theron. Michelle Yeoh you see in it. Mm-hmm. Who you don't see is Ben Kingsley is in this.
Okay.
Lawrence Fishburne. Rachel Bloom, Kerry Washington, Rob Delaney's in this.
Sure.
They went all out. This is my point.
There's a lot of people in this movie. Yeah.
I mean, I might watch it just because why not? But like,
what if it's amazing?
Yeah, what if it's good?
We'll probably end up watching it on like a movie night. So
yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be a real fucking Artemis Fowl, but maybe not.
Oh man, Artemis Fowl.
Yeah.
Speaking of books, let's move on to the next trailer.
Yeah, okay. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Disney Plus TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as Harry Potter knockoffs go, I feel like Percy Jackson's a little more legitimate, I guess. It seems like there was more thought put into it.
I mean,
he's been cranking these books out for a while. So
yeah, and I think these came out roughly around the same time. So it was just like, I don't think it was a direct rip, but I'm sure it was a publisher saying like, hey, this Potter book seems to be doing well. Someone give me more like magic schools. And he was like one of the first ones.
I don't know. If it doesn't have Pierce Brosnan as a centaur, what are we doing?
Man. I mean, they couldn't even maintain Pierce Brosnan as a centaur for more than one film.
Yeah, those films were
bad.
Delightful crap.
Are very bad. It's
very bad.
In defense of this, you don't see much at all. This is a very brief teaser trailer. In defense of this series, pretty much every fan of the book series agrees that the movies are crap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like an Aragon situation.
Yeah.
This is a TV show.
It's a TV
right?
show. Yes.
Yeah.
This has a better shot of being good.
I think the kids are gonna love it. I think this is one of those ones where it's just like, oh, if you're a fan of these books, odds are like a TV show is gonna be like a better format for the story.
Right.
But for me, like I remember reading the first book back like in college because I was on my Potter kick and I was like, I need more magic stuff. Let me read this other one that's popular. And the very like first few chapters, I was just like, oh no, this is not for me. Cause like the main not really spoilers because this is like stuff that happens in the very, very beginning of the book and the whole story. It's like what kicks off his thing is that him and his mom are like running away from like a monster and he witnesses like his mom turn into like a statue and then he gets shipped off to this school and then he finds out like his dad's a god, right? Within those and this is like his mom, like, you know, it's his mom. And immediately he's just like, I guess I'm in this magic school now. And like, does not think about his mother for like such a long time before it becomes plot relevant that it just bothered me so much. I was just like, this is an 11-year-old boy and he witnessed his mother turn into stone and he does not seem there's no trauma. There's no like reflection on this. Like, I feel like that would devastate any child. Yeah,
it sounds like they don't. Again, it's that like cynically made stuff where they yada yada because they just want to get to the Harry Potters. And they're not actually thinking about like the characters and what matters.
Yeah, it just felt like the kid, like he wrote like an 11-year-old, the kid felt like it was written like he was already like an adult. Like he was like a kid that talks like a grown-up. And it was just very, I was just like, I could see like if, I could see why it's popular, but I was just like, man, like I can't deal with, like, you can't just kill a kid's parent in front of them. Or like, quote unquote, kill because she's stoned. And like not that have that like truly like deeply affect them for like months.
Right. It's the sort of thing where just, Harry Potter and the Hunger Games created so many like cynical copycats that shit out books that 100% worked because kids don't care.
Right.
And then you grow up and there's like a reverence for this thing that was never kind of made well. And I'm saying that with full knowledge that we grew up on like Transformers. Like, this isn't new. What I'm describing isn't new at all.
Well, we didn't.
It's just how kids
we grew up on Transformers, not GoBots.
Yeah, that's fair. No, but you know what I mean. Where it's like there's so many things that are cynically made towards kids that then you grow up and you're like, this is the best thing ever. And the writers are like, really? Because we were really drunk when we wrote that.
Right.
Yeah, we were just fucking flying by the seat of our pants here.
I want to...
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I just want to point out that Percy Jackson and the Olympians, I looked up the cast. I'm 100% on board just because Jason Mantzoukas is in it.
Oh, hell
And
yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
I hope
I
he's
don't know.
a centaur.
I hope he. Yeah, I hope he's a centaur. I hope he's some sort of fucking monster. I'm all in just based off that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's also the director of the Muppets, the new Muppets, or who's doing the first episode. The first episode is also written by someone who's written a lot of the show C, Black Sails, and The Old Man. So all like very serious things.
Adult dramas, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then Percy Jackson. Why not?
Yep. Yeah.
Let's move on.
All right. Speaking of TV,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quantum Leap. Quantum
Man.
Leap.
See, I fucking love Quantum Leap, and I was excited when they announced this remake, and this trailer looks like ass.
So this is I thought it was going to be a sequel, and it's very funny to me. Or it was very funny to me, the idea that they would make the mistake twice. But no, it's a remake, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got Ernie Hudson in it.
It does have Ernie Hudson. Like, I don't have a problem with the cast or any of the people involved. It's just this trailer is so heavily focused on action. It makes me think of the Abrams Star Trek, where it's like Quantum
Right.
Leap was about like exploring the civil rights era and like all these other important historical events. It had very, very little to do with action. Like when an action episode popped up, that was like out of the ordinary. It's mostly
There was that vampire one.
the vampire one. There's a ghost one. There is a fucking mummy one. But like most of the time, it was about like small. It wasn't about like world changing things or like these huge action packed things. It was like saving this family,
Yeah.
or like
Right,
saving
it was
this
about emotional,
one.
yeah.
And like
It's
there's
about
a car
empathy.
chase. Exactly. And like in this, the first thing they show us, and this is like this epic car chase and like all this action and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Yeah.
that's not what Quantum Leap was.
Here's my hope is that they're just showing us these to get us into it.
I hope so
and then
too.
they're
Yeah.
gonna but also like just visually, this looks like it was made in 2005.
It looks so boring. Yeah, it looks like early edition or one of those type shows from like the mid-aughts. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What was it? It was like something on Mars. Like there was like a like
Life on
like
Mars.
Yes, like it has that look to it.
Mm-hmm.
It made me mainly just want to go back and watch the original Quantum Leap, and then perhaps do a podcast series about it.
I think we should do that, Dave.
Yeah, maybe after Fox Mulder.
I think we will. Yeah, we should do that. Sam Beckett is a maniac.
I mean, that would be fun.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
It looks like the wrong tone. Like it looks like it
No
doesn't.
theme song.
Just use the original theme song. You
It was my ringtone for years. It's such a good theme song.
Yeah,
I
don't
mean,
know.
I bet that'll be like the sound of like someone's phone. Like you're gonna hear the song somewhere.
Scott Bakula better fucking make a cameo at least. But yeah, I don't know, man. And this is coming out on like NBC, which is it's really funny how like to see an advertisement and it's like, oh, what is this, Netflix or Amazon? Oh, NBC. That's quaint. Like that's cute.
Oh, weird. Like real television. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, it's like TV with commercials and junk. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like I said, no issue with the cast or any of the people involved. It's just this looks like it's completely misunderstanding the tone and the sort of point of view of the original series, which is part of what made it so unique.
Comparing it to the Abrams thing, it's about compassion, and it looks like it's being turned into like action. It's about being put in someone else's shoes.
Yeah,
and not fucking robbing banks or whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, like there's the stinger at the end is the new Sam Beckett. His name is not Sam Beckett. They've changed the character's name, but he asks the Al character, whose name is also changed. Well, so what happens if the person whose body I'm in dies, and then she tells him, then you die as well. It's like that's never really a thing he had to ask in the original series because it didn't come up that often.
They also make it that he has like his memories wiped and he has like a romantic relationship with his Al, which is just like this added like, oh, we got to have romance and will they, won't they, and action.
And like an additional mystery box layer. Like Sam, as far as I knew, and I watched a bunch of the original series, like he knew what was happening to him and who he was and what what was going on.
And not once was there sexual tension between him and Al.
I disagree. But
I mean, maybe they should have kept Al male and then just still kept the romance. And then that way it's just like, that would be like a refreshing take.
That would be interesting. I think they should have less action. I also realized we should have gotten a Quantum Leap every decade. Like that you could technically remake this if you made it well.
Because it's always relevant.
Yeah.
It's always about like empathy and like the original. Like I said, the original series was so tied into like the civil rights movement, and there's like Anyway, this trailer bummed me out.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, final trailer. The Fabelmans. This is Spielberg. Just whipping it out, slapping it on the table, and showing us how big it is.
Little Stevie,
That's it.
Little Stevie being like, "Here's me as a kid."
Yep.
And listen, I can't wait to watch this movie.
Same here. I cannot fucking wait.
It looks so good.
I have no complaints about what I just saw. I kind of just. This looks like a good story. And it's beautiful.
Listen, controversial opinion, Spielberg makes good movies.
Yeah. It's just amazing to watch him. He is the only filmmaker who can do this, who can just be like, you know what's great? Movies. And it's like, you're right. You're right, Spielberg.
You specifically are right.
Yep. Yeah, I will not accept that from anybody else. Even like, you know what? Sorry, there's one other movie that I accepted, which was Scorsese doing Hugo, being like, you know what I like? Movies. And I'm like, you're right, Scorsese.
Yeah.
You do like movies, and so do I. You have to earn that, is the point. You can't make The Artist like your first movie.
Right.
Yeah.
It just looks really good.
Yep. This co-writer is the what's his name? Tony Kushner, who did the Lincoln and Munich and West Side Story. So he's been doing a lot of the recent. Yeah, it just looks like Spielberg being talking about his life, right? And then he's just like, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to make Seth Rogen act.
Yeah, I'm going to make Seth Rogen my uncle.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that. For Seth Rogen being like, what the fuck am I doing here?
In a
I'm so
Spielberg
high,
movie,
and I'm in a Spielberg movie. Yeah. Just and then Judd Hirsch looks fucking phenomenal in it.
Yeah, the cast looks great. Like Michelle Williams plays his mom, Paul Dano's his dad, and they both look great. Like it just looks like a really good movie.
It's all the award actors. It's just like I'm gonna get all the
I wonder,
Jesus Christ.
I wonder if Seth Rogen like won Spielberg over. Didn't like Seth Rogen do that like Jewish pickle maker movie?
An American Pickle.
He did.
Yeah.
Was that serious? Was that a serious film?
Kind of.
I think it was. I think there was like this was humor. It had humor in it, but it wasn't like a comedy. Like it was more like this is a
right. It was an outlandish.
It's about a guy
premise.
pickling himself.
Yeah, he accidentally pickles himself and wakes up 100 years in the future to meet like his great grandson or something. So like it's a ridiculous premise, but like the movie itself was not. I don't know.
He's warming. He did Pam and Tommy. I think Seth Rogen has been. He's doing the Jonah Hill thing where he's just like, I'm going to slowly ease into serious shit. I'm going to be like a funny guy in a serious film, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do that. And then he's slowly pushing and like, yeah, good for him. Yeah, I don't know. I just realized he's playing Donkey Kong in Super Mario. The Super Mario movie.
Perfect. It was like
the part he was born to play.
It's exact opposite of casting Chris Pratt as Mario. It's like, what? It's like Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. You're like, well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But yeah, this is, I don't know, man. I'm super excited.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good as shit.
It looks good as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Anything else to say?
No, when does it come
I'm all
out?
set. Thanksgiving soon.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Fabelmans. Oh, it's 2.5 hours.
Where are my Fabelmaniacs at?
Yep. It's like there's like action in this trailer. I'm like, what was his childhood? Like, is he gonna make shit up? I kind of want it to be like fuck, what's the story? I want
Confessions
like
of a Dangerous Mind.
No, I want like him to meet an old man who looks and acts like E.T. and then he gets attacked by a neighborhood dog that everybody calls
like Shakespeare in Love or some shit. Yeah,
where it's just like. Yeah, just working it all in.
Corny ass bullshit.
Yeah.
It probably won't do that, but like,
no.
Yeah, there was some drama. I mean, like his parents split up and there was like this whole revelation years later where like he thought his dad had left them.
Oh, man. I do want to learn that Judd Hirsch is the inspiration for E.T.
I hope so. Or his Jaws,
character. Yeah. Or his Jaws, yeah. Yeah, he ends up putting a, like, putting an air tank in Judd Hirsch's mouth and blowing him up.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I got a great idea for a movie based on a book. All right.
Yeah, let's name some producers.
Let's name some more producers. Big thank you to Glitterous, CFO of Michael Shannon's Chocolate Factory.
Thank you.
Thank you to Davey Francis 9. Davey Goes to Hell.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to Oh Great, It's That Guy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Chester's Prophet.
Thank you.
Thank you to Definitely Not Guillermo del Toro.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
Thank you.
Thank you to Bob Grenville.
Thank you.
Thank you to Steven.
Thank you.
Thank you to Han Toomey, the confused cyborg.
Beep,
thank you.
Boop. All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to Asking 7. Thank you to Happy Ed 209.
Thank you.
Thank you to Manischewitz Maltov says economic solidarity is the path to paradise, comrades.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tiger George Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dan Hackroyd.
Thank you.
Thank you to Cody Johnson's Time Machine Noise. Thank you to Pete for Pagel.
Thank you.
Thank you to listen to the hit song Books Are My Aesthetic theme from If This Book Exists, You're in the Wrong Universe.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So there's a couple of scattered news stories. I don't know.
We kind of covered it all. It was the only thing is like people were disappointed from the D23 that there wasn't much Fantastic Four or X-Men stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Deadpool stuff.
Yeah.
And I understand. I feel like they really do need to start whipping that stuff out soon.
Probably.
Then there was the Star Wars stuff. There's like new Mandalorian.
Yeah, that was kind of the main thing. I was like, "Ooh, new Mando." I was like, "That looks fun." It continues to look like it'll be good.
Yeah, and then there's that Jude Law thing, Skeleton Crew.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems kind of fun. It's
I didn't see that one.
It's like apparently this is described as a story about a group of younglings lost in space. I assume Jude Law is. I'm gonna say he's some sort of villain, but
probably
who can say? There was also
he's got serious villain face.
Yep. There was an exclusive look at Indiana Jones 5.
Yes, that none of us got to see.
No, none of us got to see. And yeah, that's about it, right?
Yeah.
And the stuff we already mentioned.
Yeah.
There's some new like Pixar stuff I think coming, or animation stuff. I don't know. And some new theme park shit. So yeah, that's it.
I mean,
that's it. They talked about Inside Out 2.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. That's fucking weird.
The hell is that going to be?
I mean, probably her going through puberty, which will be...
That's what they're saying. It says it'll follow a teenage Riley, introduce new emotion characters, and is due 2024 in June. Is the new emotion character going to be like horniness? Teen horniness?
I hope so. You better talk like Vincent Price.
Yeah. It talks like Vincent Price. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yes.
Just talking about
the boys,
cute boys
wearing their tight jeans.
If they knew what was good for them, they'd have the voice actor who does Tina from Bob's Burgers play teenage horniness.
That would be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Just rambling about hot zombies.
Yeah. Other news we have is there's going to be a Gran Turismo film with David Harbour.
Yep. And he's also in that Santa Claus movie, Violent Night.
Yep. Yeah.
Big year for David Harbour.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like neither of these are going to work out, but What is does Gran Turismo have a plot?
No, it's just a racing game.
Yeah, so this is going to be like that Aaron Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Remember
Need for Speed.
Yeah. Here's what you need to know is the Gran Turismo movie, directed by Neil Blomkamp, according to the internet.
I mean, obviously.
According to IMDb. So that's...
Boy, man,
I don't know what that is.
His career did not go in any kind of direction anyone anticipated.
No.
After District 9 came out, they're like, this guy's awesome. And then...
Remember when he made that movie we watched? Demonic? Remember Demonic?
Yes. Oh, no. That was him.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a bad film, Dave.
Yeah, that movie was just like a dusty fart.
That was an extremely bad film.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Elysium was fine. I never saw Chappie because why would you see Chappie?
Why on earth would you see Chappie? Yeah. And then apparently Baz Luhrmann is open to releasing his 4-hour cut of Elvis, which is just
that's too long.
There's this weird. I think in the wake of like the whole Snyder Cut bullshit, everybody's like, oh, all these directors need to release director's cut versions of their films, and I don't think a lot of people understand that in most cases the final cut is the director's cut.
Yeah,
and then also
I think they're talking about like the work print,
right? And they just want to see like every inch of footage that was
shot,
filmed. Yeah, and it's like, dude, no, it's not.
It's not Apocalypse Now.
It's not
like
how
we
it
don't
works.
have to keep. It's not Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I did watch the 5-hour Apocalypse Now work cut, and let me tell you, it is bad.
There's a fucking haunted mansion in it.
Yeah.
The hell is that?
It's a work print. So like they literally just like loop the doors over all the scenes because they're like, there'll probably be some door shit.
Yeah, it's like a fucking scratch track or whatever, and then it's like, well, I guess we're putting this out.
I think what happens is Baz Luhrmann. I didn't click on this link, I didn't like read it intensely, and my guess is someone asked him in an interview.
Yes, it's become.
And he said, sure.
Yeah, it's that thing like where invariably you'll see an actor say, like, you know, for the longest time, people were asking Keanu Reeves if he'd ever do another Matrix or another Bill and Ted. And the headline was always, Keanu Reeves says he's down to do another Bill and Ted. And it was always that, where it was just an interviewer asking them, would you be open to doing Bill and Ted? And he would say, like, yeah, sure, if they came to me and I liked the script. So I'm sure that was like, it's become like in the wake of like Scorsese saying he doesn't like superhero movies, or he doesn't consider superhero movies to be cinema. It's like everybody asks that question now. It's like, what do you think of superhero films? So like now it's like, is there a director's cut? Like, do you have a longer cut that you'd like to show? And so the director will say something like, well, yeah, sure. I mean, we shot like the initial work print was like 4 hours or something.
Yeah.
And so the headline will be like, there's a 4-hour cut of Elvis. Like, well, no, there's not. It was just like the assembly cut of everything they shot. And that's how they start. And then they cut down from that to get like to the movie.
Right.
I don't know.
I always wonder if stuff like this comes up because we don't really do like DVDs and Blu-rays anymore, where we have like all the little, you know, like here is your extra stuff that's actually good that just happened to not make it, versus like here's everything, you know, like we don't get to like really get to see, I don't know, little featurettes and little bonus things anymore.
Yeah, I do think that's probably the case. It's like they do those that show on Netflix right now, the movies that made us, where it is just like, normally this would be special features on a DVD, but since like Netflix and other streaming services have strangled physical media to death, we don't get this stuff anymore. We don't get like the deleted scenes or something.
Right. All that said, I'll watch a 4-hour Elvis.
So would I.
You know, even if it's just like, I mean, I haven't seen the other one.
I was pretty into Elvis.
I haven't seen Elvis. I just think it's funny.
Pretty sweet.
I think it's funny that it existed. Real quick, Scott Bakula put out a statement about Quantum Leap. He said it was originally pitched to him to be involved, and he had to pass on it. And he hopes that the new cast and crew are able to. He literally says like the spirit of the show is leaping around and walking a mile in someone else's shoes, and he hopes that the new show will do that. So that's interesting. That doesn't seem good. That seems like they gave him a script he didn't like.
It seems very
and he
diplomatic.
was like, nope. Yeah.
But he still gets a check, right? Was he like ever like executive producer of like the original or anything?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, he says he's not involved behind the camera either, is how he put it.
I think it's just Scott Bakula's a class act, man, so...
Yeah. Bakula.
But yes, it also does sound extremely diplomatic, so that does raise my eyebrows a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's name some more patrons.
Okay. Big thank you to Del Griffith, the shower curtain fella.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Midnight Patron with Patrons at Midnight.
Thank you.
Thank you to Exploding Runes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Andrew, the proud Satanist Howe.
Hail Satan!
Thank you to Vincent. Thank you to Rev MD.
Thank you.
Thank you to Bootler Boodleson.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tux. Thank you to Ricky Cilantro. Thank you to Norm from Cheers.
Thank you.
And thank you to Space McNulty.
Oh, always. All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to your mom.
Thanks.
Thank you to Nolan Tubi's Dark Harold Mayton.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew Star Deserves More Hype McGuire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you to AJ. I finally got it right.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tip Drizzle.
Yeah.
Thank you to Burrito Mouth.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Ghost of Dave Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you to Aaron Burser.
Thank you.
Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparts, Esquire.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mackenzie Fuck Shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick Chill.
Yes.
Thank you to Funky J.
Absolutely.
And thank you to Pie Guy.
Always.
All right. Dave. Dave.
I'm a car.
You scum. You unbelievable scum.
I took cough medicine
Dave,
today.
Shut your lips.
All right.
Open up your ears.
All right.
Because I need to know
All right.
if you have a movie that deserves more hype.
All right. Yes.
Oh,
I
no!
do.
What luck!
Oh, boy, do I. Listen, this doesn't have an exact release date. It just says select theaters late 2022. So I'm guessing, around the holidays. But boy, look out for this one. Leonore Will Never Die is the name of this movie. It's out of the Philippines, I believe. Mm-hmm. It's a first-time Filipino director, and it is a story of a older lady who used to write like Filipino action films, like cheesy 70s action, and she's now past her glory days. One of her sons has died. Her other son is constantly like trying to get her to pay bills, and she's just lost in her head, trying to write her final script. And then a TV hits her in the head, and she goes into a coma, in which she then lives out a like cheesy 70s action film where she's the star. It is very stylized. It's very cheesy on purpose. People are describing like the soundtrack is spot on and stuff like that. It apparently has an emotional climax where like her real world starts like, morphing into this world. It also apparently is a political commentary from the Philippines, because the Philippines also had a very common problem that America has, which is like celebrities becoming politicians, mm-hmm. which is what they have their own Trump to deal with. So apparently there's also a narrative about that, about how we like somehow like fictional strongmen are idealized like politically. So it looks really interesting. What'd you guys think of this?
It looks so cool. I immediately was just like, what is this? And then realizing that it was going to be like a weird, artsy, but like fun. It just looks so good, and I'm definitely going to watch it and cry, because it also looks like it's going to like get you, like just, it looks so good.
It does look so fucking... It looks really fun. Like, the trailer is really fun. It's weird, and it's, like, smashing together of all these different kinds of, like, B genres from, like, the 70s. Mm-hmm. It just... But, yeah, and like Star was saying, it looks like there's this really strong emotional undercurrent to it. This just looks really cool.
Yeah. It looks really cool. I would say, tonally... I'm not saying it's anything like it because we're just going by the trailer, but I fully expect it to be kind of like an Everything Everywhere All at Once, where it's not in the same plot, but where it's ridiculous, over the top, and also you're crying.
Yes.
Like, that's what it looks like.
Yes.
It's only got 2,000 views, at least, like, the official trailer. Leonor will never die.
Check it out.
Leo-nor, those two words, will never die. This really needs to get more
people
eyes.
need to see it. It truly deserves more hype, because this is a super unique trailer.
I'm also a fan of, like, movies where, like, the lead character is just, like, an older lady who's just like, oh, you look like someone I would see at the grocery store, you know? Like, you, like,
oh, yeah.
It's just like, oh, this feels right.
Yeah. It reminds me, there was like a tweet of someone like, I'm sick of the chosen one being like a young man. Make the chosen one like a 40-year-old mother of 3 who doesn't have time for it. Like that. Yeah. The director is Martika Ramirez Escobar. She's only done like short films before this. And I'm super curious about this career. Like this, I don't know. This just looks fucking great. So yeah, everybody check it out.
Yeah. Sweet pick, Dave.
Thank you.
And folks, that's a sode. We've done it.
Huzzah.
Woo! Star, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell them some stuff. What do you want to plug? Where can they find you?
I will say I'm going to plug my art shops. If you guys want, like, cool little drawings or a lot of stickers, go to starlinearts.com. And if you happen to be Jewish and you want some, like, Jewish stickers coming up for Rosh Hashanah, go to atarasarena.com and you could get your Judaica stickers there. Those are my two little plugs for today.
Awesome.
Sweet. Now, Dave, you go. You tell them some stuff.
Okay, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. You can go on there. You can, for just $5 a month, you get access to a bunch of exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and Spiel Boys. Those are all on there. We also watch movies every Friday night with our patrons. That will be the night this comes out, so check it out.
Yeah, one of them will probably be the School of Good and Evil. We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com where you'll find a link to our Teespring store, where we have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs you can get on t-shirts, stickers, posters, mugs, all sorts of things. So slap your good and evil peepers on those.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. All right, say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, Corlew, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.